Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Sean.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're the Natural Gamers, and today we're going to be talking about a game that came out early this past October. Yeah, this past October.
Yeah.
Early this past. Actually, I think it came out on my birthday. Crazy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. Belated. Rage. The most worst title. Like
I don't.
well, I would say this is a bad title because this game will not fill you with any type of emotion strong enough. It would be like slightly, if they called this game like slightly miffed.
Slightly miffed?
Like,
what'd you say?
Yeah, slightly miffed instead of rage.
Yeah.
Like, because you're not gonna feel that extreme.
You don't get mad, really. I don't know. I wasn't mad when I came out of a cryo chamber, crisis, whatever it's called.
Well, what I mean is like the game is like
Doesn't create
it's not gonna evoke any emotion, like any strong emotion. This game is perfectly okay.
It is a good game. Like, it's not a great game.
What first word that comes to mind when you think about after playing Rage? What comes to mind?
Dull.
Dull.
Meh. Boring.
Meh.
I feel like the character development isn't that. I don't feel it. I don't, you know.
Well, it kind of like plays a little bit like a stripped out like Fallout type thing.
Yeah.
A little bit. That's not entirely fair. It's a much smaller world. It's very bland. It's very boring. Well, everything's very flat and monotone. Like the whole, from the and the gameplay mechanics are some of them are like 10 years old and some of them are more in modern times. I mean, that was kind of, I guess, the idea behind the game was to make more a classic kind of straightforward first-person shooter. But then they add these other weird elements. Like it plays like Serious Sam. You know what I'm saying? Like the shooting aspects of it.
Other than the auto aim thing.
Other than the audio game thing, but like it plays a little bit like Serious Sam, and then it tries to and then it does like a half-assed version of what newer games do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if this game came out like 6 or 7 years ago, it would have been highly praised. Or actually, maybe even like 5 years ago, it would have been really praised.
Would have been up there with Oblivion.
Too many games have come out that have been like just have done that and have gone beyond it. This is actually a new game from id Software, which is id Software. They're a famous company, famously created Wolfenstein 3D, Doom, Quake. So they had a legacy behind them, and they haven't made anything substantial or important in a really long time, so a lot of people were looking forward to this game.
So maybe, was this game in development for a while?
Yes, it was, and I think it plays a little bit like it maybe should have been in development maybe another year. One of the things that actually I really hated in this game, I could not stand in this game, was the vehicle stuff. Vehicle combat, and just driving around the vehicle in general was just, I wish I was like, why can't I just fucking, why can't you just do this like regular level structure?
I guess it's there to get you from point A to point B in a faster way, and I guess...
Well, and also add variety while you're going from here to there, like, because you gotta fight off some, like, bandits and shit like that.
Yeah. So
it's like the controls and the way the vehicles handle is so bad.
Like what we said, Duke Nukem, not like totally like Duke Nukem.
Yeah, it's better than Duke. It's better than Duke Nukem, but it's so like loose and like just not tight. Like, and if you play any kind of driving simulator before in your life, you know what I mean when I say tight and loose. Yeah. It's very loose and it's like all over sloppy and all over the place, and it's not a lot of fun. Actually.
And if you hit a rock going 10 miles per hour, you propelled over 1,500 feet in the air.
Yeah, some of the mechanics are a little off.
But that's fine. I guess that's.
I mean, it's like
that'd be called a glitch.
I mean, the driving thing is. It would be negligible. Like it was something you could forgive if they didn't like make it such a big necessary part of the game. Yeah. Like there's even points in the game where it actually forces you to go and win like these races. I was a little like, I guess they weren't hard, but like shouldn't have made that a necessity because the game mechanic itself just is a little bit broken. It's not like if it was just like an extra thing that you can do, fine. Like I could even forgive it if it was just like you have to drive to point A to point B. Don't make me do all this shit in the car in between. Like it started aggravating me.
But I mean, the game's not a terrible game.
No, it's not at all.
If you like this game, I think you should like definitely check out Borderlands, because I think Borderlands is a much more like just a better game because
totally is
that way. I think Borderlands you'd really enjoy.
But actually, you're right, that's a good comparison. I mean, Borderlands is more of the
it's a lot more in depth.
In-depth and RPG version of what this game is, because this game takes like part of like Serious Sam and then part of like Borderlands. Yeah. and then and doesn't do either of them like perfectly, and you end up with like kind of an okay mediocre experience. If you could find it for like $15 used when it drops down, because that's about what I got it for. Like pick it up. Like it would be worth $15. It's not gonna like piss you off so much. It's not gonna fill you with
rage. I don't see how that refers to the game. Maybe I haven't.
No, it doesn't refer to. I think it's just kind of a title.
And another thing we forgot, how the missions are kind of repetitive. It's kind of like
fetch
missions.
Basically, like the first 2 hours of the game, you're gonna get like a variety of fetch quest type things, and that's all the missions in the game. Like that's how they all are.
Basically,
there is some kind of variety where you can visit like job boards and stuff like that.
You just fire into people.
But even that, it's still like go kill these people or go get this thing and then come back and talk to me. Like they don't. That's all they are, and then it's like this really flat, boring dialogue. Like even the voice acting, none of it's bad, but none of it's really good. They speak in such a weird, like flat, like it kind of like sounds like they're obviously getting paid to just like give like a very bland performance. Like I don't know. As an overall, if this had been more like a straightforward, like cinematic, like level to level game thing, like the Resistance games or whatever, I actually probably would have preferred it. And that's another even though like a lot of these games you are the silent protagonist, you don't ever really know a lot about who they are and everything like that. But it doesn't. It tells you absolutely nothing, ever. Like I mean, you discover some things along the way, but nothing it doesn't really matter. I don't know. If the storyline is so secondary, like the game treats it as a secondary feature in itself, so it's really hard. Like it might be interesting, but like see if you can like stay awake long enough to pay attention.
I guess if they did what you said, create like character arcs and stuff.
If it was more like a traditional narrative, don't do like a Fallout thing and not do it as well.
Because
then you get rage. Yeah,
maybe that's why you get rage from being a little disappointed.
That's because all the people that play tested the game just start smashing keyboards and controllers.
Like, we gotta call this rage. The anarchist A.
I see what they're trying to do, but they're not doing it. Crack. I don't know. Well, that's about it. That's gonna do it for us.
Yeah. Not a bad game.
Not awesome. Not terrible. You can do a lot worse. But you could also do a lot better, and there's so many better games out right now that this is something maybe you'll discover in a year from now. Anyways, I'm Sean.
I'm Ryan.
And we're the Natural Gamers, and we will talk to you next time we have something to talk about. Rage!